Okay, awesome. We're going to be doing learning unit 5 today, and it's all about the business plan. I have already uploaded the recording of the learning unit, so you should have gone through it. So what I thought we would do today is that we would create our own business plan. Part of the learning units or learning outcomes in learning unit 5 is discussing the purpose and purpose and principles of a business plan. Then we need to describe the stakeholders as well as then explain what a business model should cover. And then the components that contribute to the business plan, and more importantly, provide the business plan structure. What did I just do? Yeah, the business plan structure. And then learning outcome 6 would be provide guidelines for writing a business plan. So this learning unit 5 or learning outcome 5 is what we are going to cover today. So if we go to the slides and we check learning outcome 5, and this normally gets asked in the assignment. I'm sure you've gone and looked at the assignment 2. I haven't looked at it yet, but I know they always always ask it. If not in an assignment, then definitely in the exam. So the first thing is that a business plan should have a cover page. So your first page would be business plan cover page. Obviously, it wouldn't say cover page because it would have the details that we have here. So you would have your name of the business, name and address of the business. And we would then have the nature of the business. So what is your business all about? Nature of the business. And then it's got a statement of confidentiality, the name of you as the entrepreneur, and the statement of finances, which will not be relevant for us. So if your business is, I don't know, for lack of a better word, nature of the business, we are in fast-moving consumer goods, and it is food, right? And the name of us as the entrepreneur, maybe if I was the person who owns Checkers, and then actually this one is the confidentiality clause, and then the name of myself as the entrepreneur. Obviously, I'm putting it in a rough way. You will not do this. You will probably you'll make this, you'll make this look proper. And then, so that's the cover page. Then the second thing would be the executive summary. But before this executive summary, and if I check here, for instance, yes, normally after the title page, we've got a table of contents. And I think with any document that we create, we need to insert a table of contents. So you will say page break, and then you'll go to review. And is it review? It's references, yeah. Then we'll insert our table of contents. And maybe we can make this then heading 1, bold, update heading 1, and make that heading 1. So you will see, if we say view navigation pane, you will see on your navigation pane that your titles are going to start to load. I have missed the ICE task due dates. Can I still complete them and still be valid? Yes, you can. So with the ICE task, I haven't really marked them. What you can focus on, and let me just show you under more resources. One thing that I would recommend that you go to, yes, you can still complete your ICE task and you will get your mark. So ICE tasks is basically an attempt at showing how far you are with your learning. Okay, so it's yes, it counts 10%, but it's a guaranteed 10% if you attempt it. So you will see there under assignment 1, general feedback, I've inserted a document there that's got everything. So one of the things, and the reason why I bring this up is because one of the things that I touched on in the assignment is how to answer theory questions. And I refer to the tier method. If you refer to the tier method, that's basically the approach that you should take for every single one of your assessments. All right, so then that's the table of contents, and then the next page would be, and maybe table of contents, what I like to do also is I like to make that inside, I like to make it heading 1 so that it can also show here, so that you know when you're navigating, so that you're able to go to your table of contents. And then we're going to insert another page break, and the next page is the executive summary, and this would be the page that that an executive summary. This would be the page that you fill in. Last page you complete, because this is a summary of everything that you would have done in your business plan. All right, that's the executive summary. So after you've completed everything, you come back to this one basically. Then the next one is industry analysis. Oh, sorry, page break. Analysis. And you will see in the industry analysis, we've got current and potential trends, we've got market segmentation, and then we've got competitor analysis. So current, and maybe let me do this rather, and then close this. Yeah, current and potential trends, and then markets segmentation, as well as competitive analysis. So in your current and potential trends is what are the things that are happening? And what you can do is you can definitely search and Google what the answers are. What I know is that, and I'm doing this at the top of my head just for the mere fact of creating an example. The first thing that I know is that when if you're going to be like a Checkers or a Pick and Pay or whatever, they always compete on prices, right? Compete on pricing, but they also compete on uniqueness. So Woolies, for instance, we know them as a quality, whatever kind of a store. Whereas Checkers, I know that they normally they have like one of the greatest cheese and wine offerings. And what they're basically trying to show is that they are different, and I don't know, they're trying to appeal maybe to a more elite kind of customer, similar to what Woolies is competing on. But again, this is not going to be something that you just fact. You're going to actually make calculated inferences on this, which means that you're going to do research on that. So maybe if you do your research, you could go ahead and do something like trends in the supermarket. Is it supermarket industry, supermarket sector, and maybe in South Africa? Yeah, you see there's retail trends in a very dynamic summer. So there's definitely articles that'll give you exactly what is going on. So again, with everything that you do, remember that you would have to reference it, right? Just because it's a business plan, it doesn't mean there wouldn't be references, because this is an assignment, right? They compete on pricing and they compete on uniqueness. That's what I know. And then in terms of the market segmentation is about what type of customers are there, what kinds, what types, what customer groups, let's call them customer groups, what customer groups are out there, and what which group are we targeting? So if you think about Checkers, it's not exactly the cheapest place, but it's also not the most expensive. And also they're trying to be a little bit more unique. So then you would have to say, what type of market segmentation, what are we reaching out for? If you think about ShopRite, for instance, ShopRite, they're definitely, trying to get the cheapest or customer who wants to pay the cheapest price. Woolies, they're doing the exact opposite of that, and they're targeting customers, who are, a little bit more affluential. And Checkers, I would say, is trying to be a bit like Woolies, but I'd say they're more in the middle. So competitor analysis would also include that. Who would be your competitors? Definitely P&P and definitely Woolies. And I don't know if you can think of any others that would then be the customers of Checkers. Again, we make this heading 1, and maybe we can make this heading 2. So we bold it, we update heading 2, make this also heading 2, as well as then heading 2. And that would be your customer analysis, or what? An industry analysis. Then the next thing we need to look at is the business description. And the business description covers the background of the entrepreneur or the entrepreneurial team, the USP, as well as then the core products. So if you ask me, what is my background-ish? As the owner of this Checkers of ours. Let's do that. And then let me just show what this is starting to look like. All right, so we're getting a nice build-up of our document here. So what's my background? Maybe my background can be I work for VC. I am educated, right? For lack of, better examples. What is our unique selling propositions? So good value at good prices. I think that's what Checkers might offer. But again, you would need to reference this. So please go and you need to basically research your company, whatever it is that they offer, research that and make sure that if you're saying something like good value at good prices, you would then put a reference for that. And then our core product is basically food or what fast moving consumer goods, and that's the food industry. And I don't know if food is the complete word, because I mean Checkers doesn't just sell food. We all know they sell appliances. There's quite a number of things that they sell besides that. And then the next thing that we need to cover is business description. We're done with that. Production plan. And I'm glad that this production plan, I'm glad that this is coming out, because for Checkers, we don't really have to produce anything, right? If you own a product, a Checkers, you don't have to have a production plan. So this one would be not relevant for our business. So anything that is not relevant for your business, I would say still, explain what it's all about. And because this is an assignment, right, or because this would be for marks, you would first have to start by explaining what the production plan is, what a production plan is. And same goes to all the other descriptions. So the business description, for instance, you would have to explain what it's all about. The industry analysis, you would have to first explain what it's all about, and then give us examples of how those things are relevant for you and your business. Then the next section is the marketing plan, probably my favorite. So marketing plan, and part of the marketing plan is pricing, promotion, distribution, and sales forecast. So if this is heading 1, then these would be heading 2, right? And if we view the navigation pane, we can see there it is. So pricing, like we said, low, what good value at low pricing, because they're offering good quality products. And when we say low pricing, it's on the premises that it's good quality products that we're selling. Whereas with ShopRite, they're not really focused on quality as much as they are, focused on the price. So yes, you might get the cheapest, product at ShopRite, but it might not necessarily be of good value or good quality, right? And then promotion is basically how do we advertise? And that is on TV. How do we advertise? That is on TV, maybe radio. Now there's a lot of social media, and platforms can be several, and also brochures, pamphlets. So in other words, you would go into detail about the kind of advertising or the kind of promotion that you partake in as a business. And then with regards to the distribution, you would have to be clear about where it is. I mean, if you think about Checkers, it's the entire South Africa, and this is the neighborhoods, and it's also in neighborhoods, it's also in malls, at shopping malls, and I don't know where else you get Checkers. And then sales forecast is basically how our sales sales projections over a few months or years, but normally we work with years because a few months go by so quick. And here you would say maybe as a Checkers brand, sales have been going. And again, maybe with this one, let's also put there the fact that you would find a reference, because if you look at and maybe a hint there would be to research performance. So Checkers performance over the years. So if your sales have been growing but growing a little bit, then you will project that they will do the same the next year. If you find that there's been decreases, like I remember, for instance, Clicks is a company that has been doing very well. A few months ago, I was listening to an interview that somebody somebody that works at Clicks, I don't know, the CEO, maybe the CFO or something, was being interviewed, and she mentioned the fact that Clicks has been growing so much, and even with the presence of Dis-Chem in the industry, Clicks has been really doing well. So they really do know what they're doing. They've put in together good things, and one of those is the rewards system that they have. Like for instance, if you go to Clicks, if you shop at Clicks and you go and fill up your tank, if you fill up on a Wednesdays, not only do you get e-bucks, but you also get double points, and we all know that with Clicks it's actual cashback that you get. So it all depends on the industry that you're in and what research says about the performance of your chosen company. And then after that, after the marketing plan, we've got the organizational plan. And the organization plan is all about legal ownership, legal form of ownership, and we've done that in the previous learning units. We've talked this, it also includes the management structure, right? And you will also then, and role descriptions. So you will say who does what in this management structure description. And then you also description of shareholders or members, and in fact it will only be shareholders because we don't have closed corporations anymore. And then background of managers. Again, this would be, actually this is organization with an S because we are not in America. And then this would be heading number 2. So legal form of ownership, we know that by now it's probably a PTY LTD, and yeah, and then management, and you will say, for instance, how many shareholders there are, and then management structure and role description. You got Seho, who's the CEO, and then you've got Michael, who's the CFO. CFO, etc., etc. And you will also describe what it is that, what as a CEO, what is it that you do as a CFO, what is it that you do, and what other roles of people play in your company. And then the shareholders, we all know that with, you know, ownership or PTY LTD, depending on whether a company is public or not. If it's a private company, you'll be able to then share to disclose who your shareholders are. Whereas if it's a public company, the shareholders are unknown because it's a lot of people who buy a share here and there. Sometimes it's companies, sometimes it's people. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult with shareholders. All we can then maybe say is that it's a public company. How many shares have they issued and how many shareholders there should be? And then the background of managers, like we said, Teho is what? A VC employee. And a VC employee, and she's educated. She's got no experience running a checkers, but anyway, this is just an example. Okay, then after the organizational plan, we've got the assessment of risk, and this chapter is insert page break. Assessment of risk, and there you will see assessment of internal weaknesses, business risks, and market risks. So, and do heading 1, heading 2, assessment of internal weaknesses. What are our weaknesses as checkers? Maybe our weakness is that we try to be a premium business. However, we are associated with ShopRite, and therefore that means, you know, people think we are cheap or whatever. So in other words, our efforts at trying to be this premium business are being kind of mediated or moderated by ShopRite. Yeah, they're being moderated by ShopRite. Then business risks. What kind of business risks do we sell? Obviously, there's the competition. Oh no, that's us as a business. Maybe suppliers could be a problem. And I guess this, you will also have to then Google more business risks that pertain to or could pertain to checkers. And then market risks are competition. What is it that our competition are doing? I mean, one thing that I know is that, you know, like with food, Woolies, they offering like ready-made food, ready-cooked food like lasagna and all sorts of pasta dishes, you know, all those ready-made dishes. Pick and Pay has started making those, but they've got like salads and not really like, you know, a whole, like they don't have, I don't think they've got like pasta dishes or whatever, as detailed dishes like maybe what Woolies might have. But Checkers does not have. I don't think they've. Okay, I'm not like the biggest like Checkers shopper, so I say this, you know, under. I say this cautiously that, you know, they don't have their own ready-made food. So for ready-made food, and maybe they might start losing customers because a customer during the week, they just want to buy, you know, a tray of lasagna and put it in the oven. While it's in the oven, you take a shower and you eat, and you know your night is basically done, versus somebody who comes back from home and still has to cook, you know. Yeah, the implications there are different. And then yeah, then the next one is, sorry, the next one is assessment of risks. Okay, we've done that. The next one then is the financial plan. And this is where it gets a little bit more difficult for people. Financial plan, because, you know, we like to claim that we're not so financially inclined. So here it's the income statement. It's the cash flow statement. Is the sources of finance, right? And then it's the projected financial position. And it's break even. Break-even analysis. So in the income statement, you will talk about your cash, your what income, income and expenses, right? Expenses, and then the cash flow statement over 6 months. So what is your cash flow looking like? Your sources of finance could come from customers. It could also come from investors, funders, etc., or maybe the bank. Yeah, funders such as the bank. So we're talking about loans, etc. And then your position, your financial position, is it strong? Is it weak? Is it volatile? It depends on your own industry. So you would have to reference this. So yeah, do research, do research on how your position is looking. And then break-even analysis, that would be your total revenue equaling to your total cost. So in other words, how much revenue do you need to make in order for you to be able to cover your total costs? And then the last section of the business plan is your addendums. So addendum is basically every detail or extra documentation that supports all the sections in the business plan. For instance, we talked about, you know, the financial statements. So if you had to have, you know, financial statements over here, then it means then that your financial statements that you provide will be part of your addendum. So that's your addendum. And after that, I think that's it. So then remember we said with a business plan, one of the things that we said is that in the executive summary, view navigation pane. We said that in the executive summary, it would be the last page that you complete. The reason for that is that it contains a sentence from every section of the business plan. So in other words, if you look at your business plan, right, your executive summary would basically then be, so you would basically say, this is my industry analysis, what is going on in the industry. You'll have a sentence on the business description of Checkers or whatever your business is, the production plan, if you have any, the marketing plan, the organization, well as then the assessment of risks. And please don't forget this, what do you call it? Sorry, trying to view navigation pane. So this executive summary, basically, it has to be the most interesting part of the business. This is the section that stakeholders are interested in. So you need to make sure that it is an interesting section. You know, you cannot make it boring. If you, let's say, give it to a banker and you say, hey, Mr. Banker, here's my business, they're going to go to your executive summary, they're going to read it, and if they're not interested, they will just not read your whole business plan. Whereas if what they read in an executive summary is more interesting, then they're like, oh, actually, maybe this is worth looking into. So a business plan, much like a book, it has to be interesting. Nobody wants to read a 50-page document of a snooze fest. All right, so please make sure that you keep it interesting. This document is supposed to capture audiences. How are you going to get a loan if a person is reading is gonna get bored? Obviously, if I'm gonna get bored, I'm not gonna try and read your business plan. So guys, that's basically what a business plan is supposed to cover. If you get asked how to do a business plan, if you get asked to do a business plan, this is exactly how you must do it. And please do not forget, every single section should start in a new page to make things interesting. I mean, if you look at, for instance, if I start navigating through this page that I've done, you can already see when I navigate through it, it's looking neat, right? Every single section starts on a new page. It's got a good headings, good formatting, and more than that, I have activated the headings. So again, you go to home and you use the headings here, and if you right click on it and you say update heading to match, it's going to fit what you want it to look like. Whereas if you look for example at heading 3, you can see here it's a bit blue, so that's because it's going to make it blue, and that's because I haven't really amended it. So amend it according to what you want. A business plan or a document should always be in black, so amend the headings for them to be black, so that also when you view your navigation pane, you're able to navigate through your document with ease. So that's just it for a business plan. Any questions? Don't know if you're still in the group or what's happening. Any questions, Michael? Josh, welcome. All right, if there's no questions, I think that's it for the day. Nothing so far. That's it from me as well, guys. Thank you so much for joining this session. It was just a practical example of what your learning unit 5 will look like. Next session we will be doing, it will be in 2 weeks time, and we will cover learning unit 6 and learning unit 7. So if you look at our diary, so next week or the week that we're going to meet again is going to be the 22nd of April. Then we're going to meet again on the 6th. As a matter of fact, we're going to meet on the 22nd and then on the 6th. And then you guys have assignment 2 that is due on the 14th. So what we'll do is on the 22nd, we'll do the last learning units that are relevant for assignment 2, which is learning unit 6 and 7. And then on the 6th, it will be the national support session for assignment 2, so that you guys are ready then to submit your assignment on the 14th. That's it from me. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Same to you. Bye-bye. Stop recording.